Hi, welcome back to NJCDC's The Loft. I'm Azaria and I'm a student at Kennedy. I'm a senior and I go to the Great Falls Youth Center.
I'm Denser and I go to the Great Falls Youth Center. I'm a senior at Kennedy High School.
What's up, y'all? My name is Mr. Ricardo. I'm today's host. I'm a mentor at the Great Falls Youth Center. All right, so today's topic is about Black History Month. Let's start off with question one. What does Black History Month mean to you?
Black History Month, to me, I don't know. It doesn't really mean much.
Really? Why is that, if you don't mind me asking?
I mean, to me, it doesn't really mean much. I respect Black History Month and everything, the culture and everything. And I'm glad it happened, everything that happened. But
what do you mean by everything that happened?
Like
celebrating it?
Yeah.
And stuff? Okay.
But it doesn't really mean that much to me.
Okay.
Everyone else, yeah. But to me, I'm just saying to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. At least you're being honest. I respect that.
No, because I don't want to offend anybody.
Oh, no. You good. You good. What about you, Azaria?
I think it just means, celebrating everybody that came before us, why things are, how we are, how we're privileged, that even how we're privileged that things are better now than they were. And even though people think Black history is like just things happen in the past, but I feel like Black history is every day. The decision you made yesterday, the decision you're gonna make after this one, every second it's history. And for every Black person that there is, a person of color, somehow things are better. You're gonna make the world better. Things are changing, so we should be proud of that. I feel like that's what our month is, just being proud that
that's what's up.
Things are better.
Okay. I want to ask you this next question, right?
Bro, you gotta answer it too, right?
Oh, you want me to answer?
Oh wait, yeah, does he answer?
I'll give you an answer, but I'm just trying to be respectful for y'all. But no, to me, so with Black History Month, it's something that I really like, but it's something that I also don't really sort of what you said. I don't make it a big deal due to the fact that I learn about Black history almost every other day. So because I will say, especially with media, they tend to be like, oh, this is the month where you're going to learn about so much stuff. And I feel like I learn almost all this every other day, especially at school. So, but I do like Black History Month, but I will say the way they promote it, I don't like it. They're like, oh, this is the month where you're going to learn about Black history and what these historical figures did back in the day. I'm like, I learn about this almost every other day.
I just don't like how it's the same people. It's Martin Luther.
That's also another thing.
It's Malcolm X.
I'm going to get to that soon, but I want to ask y'all this question, right? And I think this is a question that a lot of people don't know how to answer, but do you think Black history is American history? Okay, the reason why I ask that is because a lot of people would say that American history is Black history. For example, I think it was Morgan Freeman that asked him about Black History Month, and he said he doesn't like it, he doesn't care for it because American history is Black history, because a lot of the stuff that has started or was invented was from Black culture or was taken from Black culture. So
yeah, I feel like that's kind of true, especially with certain stuff nowadays, certain trends that are new trends. I'm like, no, that's been a trend. Like certain hairstyles, certain music, certain clothing, especially with the clothing.
Okay.
But I feel like Black history isn't just American history, because it was also going on in other countries, like Africa, Maldives, and a lot of different places. There was some kind of Black history involved, whether that was slavery, whether that was plantation work, whether that was trade. It was always some kind of Black history. It might affect, I'll say it does affect America more, because I feel like this was the ground zero for things that went down. So yeah, I feel like American history is kind of Black history, but it's not. Black history goes far beyond just America.
Of course.
Just far beyond America.
I personally think that, I don't know, Black history started all the way back with the slaves and stuff like that. And I think the slaves was here in America first, right?
No.
Right?
No.
Yes, right? People lived here.
Buddy.
People lived.
They were taken.
No, but people lived here before America got colonized, right?
I think you're speaking more of the Native Americans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, okay. And then they got they put the Native Americans they enslaved them, right?
That's how it started, but with Blacks people was that because I don't want to say it wrong. Basically, it was shipped. They shipped them from their country and their home to here, and they the slave trade and all that.
Oh.
But you good. All right, I want to ask
no, because I thought like black people lived here before.
Well,
like,
to be fair, the school don't even teach other stuff, so like I ain't gonna lie.
You
like,
find out certain stuff through your family, through community.
You do.
You find out way more.
Sometimes you gotta do your own research on me. I ain't even gonna lie. I want to ask y'all this: do you think Black History Month should be more than a month?
Nah, Black History Month.
You don't think there should be like longer than a month?
I mean, there's many other like
months.
To celebrate and stuff like that.
Yeah, like there's Hispanic Heritage Month. There's Pacific Islander Month. There's Pride Month.
Well, that's true. Yeah,
there's a whole bunch of other stuff.
Man.
I feel like they shouldn't. I feel like they shouldn't turn Black History Month into more of a trend. Like with certain stores, you'll walk in, they'll be like, "Oh, Black History T-shirts, Black History like merch." And I'm like, "Oh my God, stop!"
Right.
It's just weird that they turn certain things for Black History Month into a trend, especially certain brands who are like openly racist, and they'll be quick to shove certain Black History merch down your throat. I'm like, aren't you racist? Yeah. Like,
I agree with that when it comes to celebrities. Like, there's so many celebrities like that you just know they probably don't even care about anything that's going on. They just want that bag and the clout
for
and the fame.
real.
And when it's that 1st of February and all that, it's like, oh,
Happy Black History Month.
Exactly. Like all of a sudden they're wearing certain colors. You know, they're standing by, but they don't believe in the police. They don't like police. All that extra stuff. So I agree with what you're saying though. Yeah.
Now it was crazy. Like when like Black History Month hits, bro. The other like cultures and people like they treat like colored people like differently. They treat them like good and stuff like that.
Okay. Oh, so you feel like it's like pity good. Yeah. Like, oh, look, it's your mom, so I have to be nice to you. Like that type.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what I will say this. It goes back to like the celebrities that I was talking about. Like they don't care about it, but once it's Black History Month, all of a sudden they're like, I want to give a shout out to all the Black actresses out there, the actors, the athletes. I'm like, okay, cool. You know, and I feel like the problem is it's already bad enough you wait until the month to do that, but then it's like it comes off so phony that it's even a point, you know? Like, you know, but I agree with y'all. Okay. Who do you think should be talked about more in Black History Month? So let me give you an example, right? Like, and this is something you said earlier, like if the school was to like every time they teach they talk about the same people like Martin Luther King or Rosa Parks, right? Like a good example is like and let me see, I got him in my notes. Does anybody know who Jack Johnson is?
Isn't that like a boxer?
Yes. So Jack Johnson was the first Black heavyweight world champion in boxing. So that's good because if you was to go to school, they'll probably bring up Muhammad Ali. Or Mike Tyson. Which Mike Tyson I kind of understand because yes, he is a Black man, and at the age of 20, he became the youngest heavyweight champion of the world. And to this day, that record has not been broken. So I get him. But I do feel like they just say those names because it's like, you know about them. We don't really got to teach you that much. So what is y'all thoughts? Who do y'all think is some like, you know, Black, not just athletes, just anybody that made history like in media, sports, or anything? Who do you think should be talked about more?
Harriet Tubman.
Okay.
I feel like Harriet's another like one that you learn a lot about.
So I'm a little 50-50 on it because I do hear about her, but definitely
she doesn't
feel
get
like I don't
hear
like
about her more now.
Yes.
Back then you heard her a lot.
I will say that when I was younger, I heard about her more, and the older I got, it was always more becoming
She's
about.
Like underrated.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
She's underrated.
Because like the more I got older, by the time I got in high school, it was Rosa Parks and Martin Luther King. And if we got lucky, exactly. If we got lucky,
you heard about Malcolm.
Malcolm X. I'm like, oh, okay, let me hear about that. But they wouldn't even talk that much about him.
Yeah. I feel like one that I can think of off top. I don't know if like people hear about her more, but I don't know if y'all know this. There was a girl who, before what's it called? Before Rosa Parks was like more popularized, there was a girl who did what Rosa Parks did first.
Oh, wow.
But there's this theory going on that the only reason Rosa Parks got more recognition was because she was lighter. There's like, that's what people don't get about Black history. There's a lot of colorism that goes on with it. That, like, people who are more dark skinned, they don't get as much recognition as someone who might be a little more fair skinned.
Right.
That's the theory going on with why Rosa Parks was more normalized for the whole bus situation.
Oh wow.
There's someone I think I should be talking about more would be like Amelia Earhart or like Marcus Garvey, Nelson Mandela. Yeah. Those are some people who did some really great things. I would say Gandhi too, but I mean technically he was Indian, but I feel like he could be talked about more.
Okay.
But yeah, those three for me are like definitely people that should be talked about more for Black History Month.
Okay, I think that answers are, you know.
How about two? How about two?
How about me?
Yeah.
Well, like,
you got to answer.
Well,
too,
he's a
bro.
good. This guy, I actually heard about him talk because, like, you know, I'm more of a sports guy, right? But like, when you think of Black history, everybody's like, what's Michael Jordan?
Actually, can I switch my answer?
Yeah, go ahead.
LeBron James.
That's my point right there, right? Like, you hear athletes, they go like, "Oh, LeBron James, Michael Jordan, this." There's like so much, like, you know, like Jackie Robinson, right? The first Black man to make it to the major leagues.
Yeah,
he's talked about, but I don't feel like he's talked about as much as
what was
exactly that? He been through to get where he went.
Yeah, there was a player too that he went to Eastside. He was the first black player to make it to the Negro Leagues or something.
Oh yeah, what player was that? Do you?
I don't know.
Like, yeah, certain names you just don't know, but you know who they were.
Right, and I think I might be saying this player's name wrong. He's a basketball player, Bill Russell.
Bill Russell.
Yeah, let's use him. I barely hear about him. Everybody's like, "Oh, Black history," you know, Michael Jordan. This man won like 13 championships.
Yeah, he got like 11,
with
13.
one team, and believe it or not, for 9 straight seasons, that's 9 years, he won those championships.
Back to back?
Oh yeah. So
but
that's
like back then, bro, he was like was tall. I mean, back then, like basketball wasn't even like
it was a whole nother thing. Like,
I mean, yeah,
like the rules weren't as much.
It was basically wrestling, bro.
Yes, but the reason why I bring him up is, you know, he is a Black man who made 13. That's the most anybody has ever won. You don't hear about him.
Nah, I think Wilt Chamberlain should be talked about more.
Okay.
Because there's like this picture of him. You know, every time you get like a career high, you take a picture of the paper and you wrote the amount of points you dropped, and he dropped 100.
Oh yes, I know exactly what you're talking about, and he was the first one to do that. Correct?
Yeah, and there's no other player in history that ever dropped 100. The second
at that point,
no, now either. Like now, like the second most points is Kobe, and that's 81.
With 81, yeah,
and
no, that is impressive. Yes, because like I will say he should be talked about more because like LeBron and all these other guys are a good example. They give them that paper too. They do the trend, but that's the score they made from their whole years, like doing it for all these times. That man did it in one night, so he should be talked about more. But I want to ask y'all this: do you think Black History Month focuses on African American more than other Black people from other countries?
Yes. Yeah. I feel like it does. Like, it does focus more on Black people who were born in America, raised in America, like lived their whole life in America. Like, Marcus Garvey, he was not American, Jamaican. What's it called? Like, he is on our coin. Like, that man, we love him. Nelson Mandela, he was South African. He was the first. I think it was first president of South America, and he was locked away for a crime he didn't commit, and then he became president. Yeah, Donald Trump stole his idea. I'm sorry.
You good?
Sorry, I had to throw that in there.
Freedom of speech.
Yeah, I will say definitely that Black History Month focuses more on African Americans that were born here or lived here most of their life than people outside of here.
I agree. What about you, Dance?
Yeah, I agree.
Who do you think from like any Black historical figures do you feel like should be talked about that are like not African Americans? Like, for example, again, I keep going with sports because that's one thing I know a lot, but like everybody's ready to talk about, again, you know, the athletes like LeBron James and all that. But what about like, don't get mad at me.
I mean, Curry's Haitian.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah, he's Haitian.
Oh, okay. But don't get mad at me if I say his name wrong, but Usain Bolt.
Usain Bolt.
Usain Bolt.
I can't say his name right. I'm sorry, but he's a good example because like I liked seeing him every Olympics, every 4 years the Olympics happened because he kept breaking his own record, and that was like impressive. But I don't even feel like now that he's like, I know he's been done for like a while now, but I also noticed like, man, y'all not gonna talk about Brody. Like no one
talk about him.
Right. And I feel like he's a good example of Black excellence. Like,
I mean,
there is the girl too. For the life of me, I keep mixing her up with the American one.
She got these long nails.
What? Oh no, she's the American one.
Oh,
but yes, I keep mixing her name up with. I think it's Sha'Carri.
Yeah, that's the one with the long nails.
That's the American one, right?
Yeah, Sha'Carri.
Yeah, Sha'Carri is the American one.
Okay.
There's a Jamaican girl who she was in the Olympics last year.
I think
and
so.
Her and Sha'Carri were going at it. They're like the biggest rifles in track right now.
I know who you're talking about.
And it's so fun to watch, and it's so fun seeing Black history being done every day. Like that girl was on a grind. She would outrun me without me taking 2 steps, and I love that for her.
That's what's up. You didn't?
Yeah. What?
Like, you wanna add anything?
Nah.
Oh, okay. All right. I wanna ask y'all this, and I feel like y'all definitely gonna have a good answer for this. What Black artist, athlete, or influencer has impacted the things you like?
LeBron James.
We just got done talking about this.
LeBron James? Nah, never mind. I do not. Nah, I'm saying Curry, bro.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So Curry.
Yeah.
Curry's a Black man.
Yeah, he's a Black man. Exactly. Or half of one.
What has he done to impact?
He impacted the league. Like he started shooting threes from everywhere.
That's true.
That people wasn't even shooting threes at that time.
Word.
And
I have to.
And now like everybody want to shoot threes.
Yes. Even so much so that the tall players that are supposed to be centers want to play like point guard.
Once they saw Steph shooting, they started like practicing.
You got like 3-year-olds shooting threes now. Like they're not even practicing layups. They're practicing threes. So Curry did change the game.
I think Curry's shooting is amazing, but his other skills are good. Yeah. People just don't acknowledge it because his shooting is like so good. Because people be saying like Curry got no handles. I'm like, bro, are you good, bro? Like, are you good? He got no finishing. And I'm like, all right.
It'd be like that, man.
They just like acknowledge his shooting, which I mean,
I guess,
yeah, it is what it is.
Right, what about you, Zari? What Black artist, athlete, or influencer impacted the things you like?
A good one. I would say, okay, there's like 2 main, not people but groups. There's the McLean sisters.
Okay.
And then there's the Wayne brothers.
Yes.
I love them because like they really shaped the acting and music industry. Because I mean, China, like I'm talking Ant Farm, House of Pain. Yes. What's that? What's the one with the dude in it?
Black Lightning.
Yo. Black Lightning. I was so mad when she left. There was another one, a movie that she did with her sisters actually. It was like when they were little girls. It was like,
oh, I know what movie you're talking about. Yeah. Yes, I've seen it so many times. But like
they literally changed the acting industry because at the time you didn't see a lot of siblings doing it at the same time. Because they originally it wasn't acting; they did music.
Yes, and they were like a little group, right? Yeah.
And then China got into the movie, then House of Pain, and then while she was on the House of Pain, she did Ant Farm too. So then after Ant Farm, then it was Black Lightning, and then in came everything else.
And then she did like Grown Ups and stuff like
Descendants, all that.
Yes.
And then what's it called? Mind you, her sisters would pop in on stuff that she was guest starring,
like cameos and stuff like that.
Like they would pop in on. There was this one episode of Ant Farm where they had like a whole like thing with them, and then they had now there's a movie with all 3 of them in it too. I just can't remember what the movie was, but it was them, and then the Wayne brothers.
Yes.
And there is another group. I just don't remember. Not even a group, but these 3 brothers. Do you remember Lab Rats?
Oh yeah.
Lab Rats. There was
you're talking about the guy that played Everybody Hates Chris, and then his brother was in Lab Rats as Leo.
When I tell you, they did so much. I just love seeing groups of, especially siblings, do stuff.
Yeah.
And then seeing the way that those 2 groups like changed everything. I mean, Marlon, he had a whole show on Netflix.
Yes.
And then there was Sextuplets, and then there was like
the scary movie. Yeah.
And then
Don't Be a Menace to South Crenshaw and all that. Yeah.
South Crenshaw.
I think that's
that was in.
Yeah. Because they did a parody of Don't Be a Menace to Society. It was a mixture with parody to Boys in the Hood, Don't Be a Menace to Society, and all that.
Yeah, it was so good, and I loved seeing that. It definitely made me respect and like the acting industry more, especially because the way they was doing it, they was putting up with no issue.
Yeah,
like it was getting very much.
They were doing it all.
They were literally doing it all, and even now, some of their stuff is still getting played, still getting as much views, if not more, than back then. Like Calling All a Monster, they did a reboot of that song with all three sisters in it, and it's so good. And then now they're bringing the Wayne brothers back for another movie.
I have to agree with that, especially with the Wayne brothers, because like y'all remember, I don't know, I wasn't even born when this happened, but Living with Color, I think it was called. It was like, I forgot I don't know if it was Living with Color, but basically the Wayne brothers, they were in this show. They pitched ideas. So it was basically like their SNL. And they had so many. If you look at the cast, you had Jamie Foxx in there. You had obviously the Wayne brothers. They were there. And Jim Carrey was even there, believe it or not. I know he's white, but he
did his big ones.
Yeah, but they helped out so many talent from there that ended up going. Like, if it wasn't for that show, I don't think Jamie Foxx would get the Jamie Foxx show, or the Wayne brothers will never get the Wayne brothers show. Like, or My Wife and Kids. Like, we can go on and on.
My Wife and Kids.
Yeah. So I agree. They definitely impacted something. But keep going.
Oh no, I was just thinking about something. Remember the twin sisters?
Yes.
I
agree with that.
There was Twitches.
Yes.
Loved Twitches.
Yes. Might turn into a movie podcast.
Yo, we'll go
no, but these are people that have impacted like the industry. So yeah, I feel you with that. Do you think historical figures that are half black should be talked about more or celebrated as much as someone who is 100% black?
Steph Curry.
I was going to allude to that. Yeah. What do you think about that, Zaria?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I feel like people who are half black, it shouldn't be such a, how do I say it? It's the same thing that goes back to like the whole colorism thing.
Yes.
We shouldn't be like measuring, oh, like you're this much percent black, you're this much percent black. Like, bro, why are we doing that? We're all black. We're all different shades, all different colors, all different sizes. Like, there's people who are so light-skinned that you would never know they're black. But they're black at the end of the day. And it's not to be offensive or not to be rude, but yes, just because they're maybe a little bit more lighter, or maybe there are a lot of I don't know if it's good to say this. There's a lot of albino people who are black, come from fully black family, but just because they have a skin condition, they're not what you would call black.
Right.
It doesn't matter. If anything, I feel like it should be celebrated more. Like, hey, yeah, I'm black too. Guess what? Like I'm also here.
Like Barack Obama, who's half black, half white, born in Hawaii. I agree with that. I do feel like, listen, man, it don't matter what percent you got. You made something historical, and you are black.
It should be celebrated, and I feel like it shouldn't. Like, sometimes there are some people who like will have a mixed culture, but will claim more of maybe like one part of them because of how they grew up. Like, I'm fully Jamaican. My mom, my dad, everybody. But my grandfather, he was Jamaican and he was Cuban. I just claim my Jamaican side more because that's where I grew up.
Right.
My city.
You know more about that side.
Yeah,
than
like
you do,
I've been to Jamaica so
side.
much, celebrated Jamaican Day. Right. That's what I claim more. And it's okay to do that. I feel like one thing people who are mixed shouldn't do is claim a side when it benefits you more. That's what I think is.
So it's sort of like going back to what we said earlier with like celebrities only caring about black history when it's like Black History Month.
Don't claim, like, don't be like half white, but then claim to be black to say the N-word, kind of.
Or be like, oh, we have a job opportunity, but it's more to minorities, and they're like, oh, I'm like 30% this or this and that, even though like, no, I feel like
don't be quick to pick and choose. Either celebrate both sides equally, or you stick to one side and claim that one side more. It's okay to be proud of both and claim one side more.
I mean, I think white people that did something for black people should be celebrated too.
Like, who's a good example if you can give me
no
one?
idea.
I'll give you one.
There's some out there, bro.
Abraham. Right, Abraham Lincoln.
Lincoln.
I don't know how to say these presidents' name, man. But he helped free the slaves. Do you think someone like that should be?
I mean, if he did that, yes. I think white people that like wanted to stop slavery, because I know there was like some like white people out there back in the day that thought like that people of skin shouldn't like deserve that and did something for them.
Okay, so you feel like Black History Month should be celebrated by not just black people that did something historic, but just anybody
who did anything historic for the black people.
Okay.
Yes.
That's a different. Yeah, that is an interesting take on it.
That's the most realist thing I ever heard when I had conversations like this. So I actually like that,
Yeah.
So I actually like that.
One.
That's different, and I like that. If you can add a new Black history topic to your school, like subjects when they teach you like stuff in school about Black History Month, what would you add? Let me give you an example. When I was in school, it really wasn't anything they added. They just say, hey, so today we're going to learn about Martin Luther King or Rosa Parks for like the millionth time. And we're going to tell
watch the same documentary.
Right. Or like a different documentary that says the same thing, just in a different way. And I'm like, okay, so what topics would you add?
Okay, this might ruffle some people's feathers.
Okay.
So I would say more of like actors or people from back in the day learn about like the darker side of slavery or the industry or of or just like general history, because there's always a darker side to things.
Of course.
Like there's the Salem witch trials, there's the under stuff that happened within the country, like things that some people just don't know.
Yeah.
The homosexuality, how that was treated back then, the punishments, the kind of punishments. Actually, people think it was just whipping.
Yes,
how it was just
whipping or
lynching.
Or staying outside in the heat.
But there's so much more. There was the chopping off. There was like the castrating. There was chopping off of hands. Like back then, if you were caught running away, if you were a man, they would take away your manhood and and then for women it would like this was more of like, I think, outside of American culture, but they would sew you up. Like there's always a darker side that I feel like you should get into more than just they were whipped.
Because I do feel like they'd be like, oh my God, they were whipped, they were in chains, they were in boats, and I'm like, all right, what else happened? They're like, oh, that's it. I'm like, I refuse to believe that. Like, because even me, I'm like, even as young, I'm like, see, I want to believe you, but the thing is, if they treated them this way, I can only imagine how they treated them for the things we don't know.
That's what I'm saying. Like, get into that nitty gritty, get into the darker side of our
history. So you feel like
history.
people need to know the dark side to know the truth.
You can't like censor certain stuff like that.
What about you, Dancer? What would you add? What topics would you add for school when you talk about?
I don't know, bro. I'm just like, they be saying the same thing, and I'm like, I don't even care no more, bro.
Really?
Yes, bro. They be like,
I feel
bro, I already went through this like my whole from first grade to this to like senior year. They always mention the same people, nothing new, bro.
So you just feel like they should talk about more people then?
They should talk about like older or like people that like underrated people, basically.
Okay, so you
that did like I'm pretty sure there's underrated people that did more than the popular ones.
That's also facts. Like, because that's the thing, like. Well, I really don't hate to say this because this is just facts. It don't matter what it is, no matter if it's about Black history, white history, Latino history. There are so many people that don't realize they low-key doing what they go against. Like, they hate, like, we never get credit. I want to get credit. But the thing is, you don't even realize that when you finally get the credit, you're doing to your people what you hated X, Y, and Z for doing to you and your people. You're doing the exact same thing. You just don't know it. So, but I feel you. There is a lot of people that aren't talked about enough that done more than the people that are, quote unquote popular.
Yeah. Oh, wait, one thing. I feel like they should also add newer people. Don't like I said, Black history is every day. There's common artists, actresses. I feel like since they only talk about older people, to get the younger generation more get them interested in it, you could talk about newer people. Like you could talk about SZA, you could talk about Serena Williams. You could talk about so many new people, especially the I hate that I don't know her name and she's my own and she's literally from Jamaica. The girl who does track, the woman who runs track. I would have loved to hear about her more.
Who do you think is a good example of Black excellence for Black History Month? Who do you think is a good example of like, it's Black History Month, let's talk about this person because what they did was like tremendous.
I mean, the main person people talk about is Martin Luther King.
Right.
So,
but who in your eyes, in your opinion?
My eyes?
Yeah, in your opinion. Not like, oh, well, Martin Luther King, because that's what the media says. Like, in your eyes, no matter if it's sports, movies, whatever, who do you think, in your opinion, is a good example of someone who's like, you know what? It's Black History Month. Let's give this man his flowers.
I know this girl, but I don't know her name. She's like basically the Rosa Parks like from Patterson. Like yeah, but I don't know her name. And Rosa Parks came to Patterson like 4 times.
I did hear about that.
She did?
Yeah.
I actually heard something about that.
Patterson like 4 times. The only high school with her name in the whole like world is actually here.
Yeah, which is crazy.
I feel like I can't pick because like with different fields, it's different. Like sports, industry.
All right.
Okay, so I'll do it for what I'm interested in, which is like books and movies.
Okay.
And science.
Yeah, that's good.
For like literature wise,
okay,
I definitely like Maya Angelou. For science, I definitely like Madame Curie. And then for sports, I'll say Usain. I'll say Usain. Loved him.
So I can also put a lot of different topics, but if I had to pick one, like one of my favorite actors is Terry Crews, right? I will have to put him up there as a good example, just because he broke the stereotype in Hollywood. Like, you know, it didn't matter if you were black, Latino, whatever. If you were just minority and you big and buff, you gotta play generic background gangster number 31 or a bouncer that does you go get in, and then boom, we don't see you for the rest of the movie. He overcame everything with like white chicks and stuff like that. And he that's a good, like that was the movie that I felt like really said, oh yeah, he broke the stereotype. Like you can play whatever. And like since then he's done so many roles where he like sings, he dances, he doesn't play some generic big strong guy.
And The Rock too, Dwayne.
Yeah, you could put The Rock up there. Actually,
I remember a movie he was like fat and then he got buff and he was.
I know which one you're talking about.
Wait, what movie is that?
It's this one with Kevin Hart.
Yeah, with Kevin Hart.
But no, I put Terry Crews just because like he's done it for so long. Like I remember, have you ever seen like Training Day? So if y'all with Denzel, if you see that, you can see Terry Crews play that character. Hey, generic big buff guy who's in the hood, gangster number whatever. He goes from that to literally having all these iconic roles where it's like, yo, he can be funny, he can be silly, he can be sensitive. So he's a good example of someone who I feel like not just in Black History Month, but just in general, we should talk about.
I think the person that I would add for like the acting industry, I would have to put Tyler Perry.
Okay.
I love too many. I love too many of his movies. Watching a D movie the other day.
I want to ask you, this is the last question. What would you change about Black History Month? If you had the opportunity or the power to change something about it, what would it be? It could be something positive, negative. What would you change about it if you wanted to?
I think I would change the people that did the stuff. Like if I would have known them all, and there's underrated that did more.
Okay.
I would have gave them the popularity they deserved on top of the other ones if they did more or less.
Okay, so you would if you was granted the power to change something, you would say, hey, these people that we don't know about or don't get talked about enough, we're going to give them the shine.
Yeah.
Okay. Zaria?
It's not something that I can change, but I would like to see it change.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to see that if you celebrate it in public, celebrate it in private. Pretty much.
Yeah.
Don't flex on it because of it's just the month.
Yeah.
If you don't care for it, be okay not caring for it, but don't celebrate it because everyone else is celebrating it. It's in right now. It's in right now. No, just
I agree with that.
Celebrate in public. If you're gonna celebrate it in private, if you're gonna celebrate it in public, be okay not caring much for it. But yeah, I saw something that I can change, but I would like to see it happen.
Yeah. I mean, look, they only did this movie because it was Black History Month, we just watched it too.
What movie?
Captain America. They did it because of Black History.
You really think so?
Yes,
it's
bro.
Been something they've been planning for a few years now. Okay.
Dropped it in. Black Captain America is crazy.
Oh wait, no, you actually got a good point. Hold on.
That's Black History Month is crazy.
I mean,
crazy.
Okay, but one thing is kind of similar to what you said. I wish people would stop making money off of it.
Yeah.
Because it's the amount of brands
they be waiting.
And it's not just with Black History Month, but Black History Month be the main month they be getting that bag from. Right. And it's one thing I hate, right? And I hope this is an example that I hope never happens. I don't want, because my biggest fear is I say Nike, right? You get the ones, black or white or red or white, whatever. It's Black History Month, y'all. So we gonna have a big like African like tribe
red,
symbols
orange,
in it, red, orange. You know, we're gonna have the African flag in the Nike, and it's gonna look cool. Like if that happens, I feel like that should open people's eyes, and I feel like that's gonna happen. And that's my biggest fear.
Not even in like Hispanic Heritage Months, like Pride Month, they be spamming.
They do it all.
Yeah, they do it like, all. Especially a Pride Month.
Yeah, they be spamming.
I hate seeing some brand post on
or change their PFP logos.
Yo,
you know what I really didn't like, and here's a good example. And it sort of started during the pandemic. Now everybody does it when it's Black History Month. Mm-hmm. Oh, I got a cute little profile. Oh, it's Black History Month. Let me just put a plain black picture.
The black fist.
Or a black fist that says BLM. Like, don't get me wrong. When I was younger, I did that, but I kept mine because I like the whole, like, because I'm Puerto Rican. I was Puerto Rican, right? Like, well, I am Puerto Rican. I was like, if I ain't no more. I'm Puerto Rican, and I was strong about Black history. So I will have that as my profile. And then someone's like, why do you still have that? Take that out. I'm like, what? I'm supposed to only have it for a month? Like, what? And eventually I did take it down once, like, because I'm like, all right, I need to change my profile pic. Not because it's bad, but other reasons. But I do notice they do that. If they don't put a black screen, or they do a post, right? Black History Month, and then it's just a plain black picture.
Now you see all these stores with the BLM and stuff. Yes. Once this month is over, you're not gonna see it no more.
Yes, I agree. And here's the thing too. I feel like they taking that fist, like, because the fist obviously means Black history and all that, and they just put it in any other flag or any other like brand when it's like time. And I think the brands be doing that just to like give them like more clout and like sponsor their brand. Of course. But yeah, no. But that's one thing I would change, man. I would change like just the amount of money people make from it.
Yeah.
Really,
bro, I'm so sick of seeing that.
I don't care.
I'm sick of seeing the fist, and I'm sick of seeing the African outline.
Yes. I know exactly what you're talking about. That's another thing.
Like, y'all making me hate this, and it's about me. Like, bro.
Right. But yeah, that's it for this episode, man. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I want to thank my amazing scholars for doing this and giving me real opinions, you know. I feel like people are too scared to say how they feel or what they mean and stuff like that. But yeah, man, anything y'all want to say before we close out?
Make sure you tune in to NJCDC The Loft. We have posts almost weekly?
Like, yeah, weekly. Yeah, we post weekly.
We have posts weekly. Yeah. It'll really help us out. Maybe one day we'll have like a bigger thing.
Yeah. Sense?
BLM.
Okay, y'all.
And that's a wrap.
Yeah, that's a wrap.